If you guys are looking for any cheap and reliable coins, check out MMOPO.com. Use the code PINGU at checkout to get 8% off. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 18 of the Derby Current Life. And to start off this episode, we're currently 4th in the table after 34 games. If we do win the game in hand, we can narrow the gap to Nottingham Forest to only 11 points. And we do actually play Nottingham Forest, so that can go all the way down to 8 points. So 8 points with about 10 games left, they might drop in off. But we literally have to win every single game if we are going to achieve that. And we only have about 3 or 4 episodes. We've got today's episode, which will go up to the Middlesbrough game. Then tomorrow's will go up to the Huddersfield. Then we'll go up to the Blackburn. Then we've got Bournemouth, Swansea and Millwall. Now the thing is, I might be tempted to even knock out an episode, go 4 games an episode, because obviously then we've got the playoffs more than likely. So that's another 3 games if we get to the final. So we'll wait and see what we do after this episode, but I think for this one, we'll stick it to 3. Obviously, Preston, our first opponents of the episode, and they're down in 13th with 45 points. Maybe outside. Well, it's probably not an outside chance. I don't think they have quite enough. 12 points is quite a bit of a gap between them and the playoffs. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we do in this episode. We did make a couple of pre-contract signings in the previous episode, and I might look to do 1 or 2 more in this episode. We have got the scout report back for Timothy Fosu-Mensah, 74 rated, and would be about 25 to 35 grand a week wages, which I think is probably worth it. I don't know, does he? I thought he had injury prone trait, but it dives into tackles. But that won't affect me anyway because it's CPU trait. Ulrich's not a bad shout. It's 79 rated and 32 years old. Obviously, like 5 years younger than Ben Foster. But again, he's not going to develop and on quite big wages. I don't think Ben Foster's on quite that much. Unfortunately, we can't get Matteo Vidra until he's back from his loan at Benevento. So I'm hoping we can do something for that, because he'd be a nice little backup striker to have at the club if we are playing 2 strikers. So let's go into the first game of the episode against Preston. We did actually get a message which I'll quickly reply to, and it was from Dwayne Holmes saying that he does want to play the next game. So I think I'll probably pop him on the bench. He's a good player, but it's like the number of options we have at the club, it's just a little bit ridiculous. So I think what we'll probably do is put Dwayne Holmes in the bench. So here's the interesting thing: Ben Foster is considering retirement. So if that does happen, obviously we'll look to get Sven Ulrich for next season. So keeps it interesting with having old players. Of course, Rooney's also considering retirement. But yeah, they've got a 4-2-3-1. Rudd in goal, Rafferty and Hughes in the fullback positions, then Ben Davies and Bauer in the middle, then Brown and Pearson. I was looking at Ben Pearson on a pre-contract, but I think Preston did re-sign him. Bockhausen and Malt on the wings, then Johnson and Maguire up top. It's quite a pacey team, this Preston team, so we do need to be careful on the counter-attack. Don't exactly have the most... I'd probably like a centre-back that has closer to 80 pace. I think at the minute they're all around the 65 mark, so something in the 70s would be quite good. As you can see, Bielik with 66 is our fastest, and then the other 2 are, under 60 pretty much. So we do need to look to potentially, if we are going to play a 3 at the back, especially next season, something that's a little bit more realistic. Ryder with the ball here, slips into Tom Lawrence, going to whip it out to Harry Wilson. If he can get his first goal for the club, he can, and he has made it 1-0 then, 18th minute. Good start. I've given him the number 9, just like Bale in a way, like Welshman on loan. But yeah, just there wasn't really any other attacking numbers available, and since we haven't signed a number 9, I thought it'd be suited to that role. But that's what I need to see more from him. I need to see him cutting in a bit more and getting into these dangerous areas, because it didn't really work at Cam. I don't think he quite has the... I don't know, just didn't quite work in the few games that I did play him there. Ryder into Lawrence, big gap here for Josuat to run into with his left foot into the back of the net to make it 2-0. Don't know why I was going to say 1-1 there. Yes, 2-0 now to us, and obviously he does have the 5-star weak foot, and that's probably why that goal did go in. And yeah, it's a nice comfortable position. We're not getting as much space as we used to. The recent patch on FIFA has basically meant the defence is a bit more defensive, like they're not just flying up the pitch as soon as you score 1 goal. But that is Joswiak's 10th of the season, and from the position that he's playing as, you know, kind of a wing back, he's doing quite well. Like with the ball here, good space here for Harry Wilson if he is onside. Just about gets taken out. Good interception here from Joswiak. Back to him. Can he make it 3-0? Yes, he can. There we go. Really good passing movement there, and I'm not too sure what we'll do next season in terms of formation. I don't know if this three at the back will work in the Premier League with much more better attacking players against us. But yeah, really poor passing out at the back from Preston, and that is his 11th goal of the season. Chance here for Joswiak. If we can make it 4-0 to end off the first half, then that would pretty much wrap up the game. Can Joswiak get his hat-trick? Yes, he can. And there we go. That's this first half sorted. He's got a first half hat-trick, and I did say that the defences are a little bit stronger now, but even I don't know. I think the 3-5-2 against the majority of the time 4-2-3-1s. For me, just scoring goals is super easy this year on ultimate difficulty with competitor mode on. But yeah, that's his 12th goal this season and a nice hat-trick. Launch with the ball here. I've got Joswiak running into that back post area. If we can find him, and we do, the number of goals that if you do that basically on Ultimate Team or career mode, the amount of times you get goals from that is like 9 times out of 10. If you see the runner parallel with you, you just do a driven cross into the middle, and the defence literally can't do anything. And I've even scored a few on goals from that, but that's 5-0, and Joswiak with 4 of the goals. I think resting a couple would be a good idea, especially Bielik in the defence, because I think we've got a game midweek. I'm not too sure, but yeah, just resting up a few just to freshen things up. Chance here for Johnson on the edge. Try and get in front of the shot, but I can't, and there's the clean sheet gone, unfortunately. Goal from Maguire to make it 5-1. Chance here for Maguire. It's slipped through for him. He's in the box now. Lukepingu hasn't done that well, and it's 5-2 now. We need to be a little bit cautious not to concede too many towards the end of the game. There's a number of times we conceded too late on and lost the points. Into Joswiak. Can he make it 6-2, sorry. Ida's there with the rebound, and yeah, just keeps that cushion. Of course, gets a goal for Ida, which is nice. There we go, full time against Preston. A nice 4 goals for Kamil Joswiak, and only 5 shots, so it just shows how clinical. And the shot that didn't go in landed at Ida's feet with the rebound, so really good display from Joswiak. And yeah, we get the 3 points. Not much possession, but on the counter we were solid. Scout report here for Jondre Yedlin. Obviously, he is joining the club in the summer, and yeah, 92 pace, 76 rated, really good right back, or right wing back. Of course, he could probably play on that right hand side. Yeah, I think it's a really good signing for the club. Obviously, 27 is still pretty young, and as a backup right back, if we got someone like 80 rated, he'd be really good. But I think for the first season, he'd be a good first team right back. We'll have to wait and see, of course, what we do with the team next season. See who's still here. But yeah, with that win, we're on 69 points now, and 11 points is doable with the remaining games we do have. And obviously, if we do beat Forest, we can narrow that down to 8 points. So into the next game against Rotherham. It is a Saturday fixture. I think, yeah, we're not... In terms of fixtures, it's actually quite well spread out in terms of where the games are played. I don't think there's ever going to be... There might be a slight concern after the Middlesbrough game, because that Tuesday game against Coventry... But then the Forest game's on a Sunday, so it's nicely spread out, and I don't think there's any worry of fitness being a concern. So let's get into our next game against 22nd in the league, Rotherham. I don't think we'll make any changes. Lawrence has actually grown to a 74, so that's good to see. Delap up to a 68. I'm going to switch the 2 just because he has got a better weak foot, of course. I do need to put Clark back into the first team as well. We did convert Buchanan to a left wing back. I'm not too sure if I showed that, but basically because he's only 5'9", I just don't think he's that viable at a centre back position. So we're also moving Brown to a CDM, which will take slightly longer, but I think it will give him the opportunity to fill in for Bird if possible. It's kind of crazy how many goals we have scored in this career mode, but when we scored like 4 or 5 goals every game, it is quite obvious. So it'll be interesting how we do against Rotherham, because there's a few teams in the relegation zone that I tend to struggle against. They are playing 4-4-2, Price in goal, Harding, Robertson, Ayakui, maybe that's how you say his name. I'm going to go for that. Joe Mattock at left wing back, then Sadlier and Ogbene at right mid. Willis, something like that in the midfield. Crooks, Matt Smith, and I think it's a different Matt Smith, not the Matt Smith from Millwall, and Freddie Ladapo up top. It's it's one of those that I think we did lose against Rotherham last time we played them, so I'm really hoping that doesn't happen again, because we do need to win literally every game between now and the end of the season, which is only 10 games after this. But into Delap, inside to Adam Ida, slips it into Tom Lawrence. Can he get the first goal of the game? Yes, he can. There we go. Nice early goal for us. And I think Lawrence is slightly better at cam, I think, at striker. Obviously, that's more suited to what he plays in real life, so it makes a lot of sense to play him at cam. But obviously, it means Rooney and Sibley don't quite get as much game time. But I think at this end of the season, we just need to put out the best possible 11 and get the 3 points. Into Lawrence, now across to Liam Delap. Can he get the left-footed shot off? Yes, he can, but a good save from the keeper. It's been a tough 52 minutes so far, and it's one of those where we do need to get an extra goal, because I can feel Rotherham scoring at any minute with their attacks. Lawrence now with it. Can he fire it across the face of goal with Adam Ida waiting? All into the middle there. Clark with the free header, but saved by the keeper again. It's a couple of saves now for the Rotherham keeper. Good ball through it for Ogbene, but a great save from the keeper. Doesn't quite keep out the rebound though. And as I said, they are making it 1-1 there. I knew a goal was coming. There was a good save from Foster in the first place, but maybe could have done with a bit better with Bielik to close the gap. But we've got about half an hour now to hopefully get the 3 points. But as I said, like, the teams at the bottom are just way more difficult than the teams at the top. Ringing with the ball here, slips it through for Liam Delap. Is he onside? Yes, he is, but a great save. I don't know how the keeper's saved that. It's gone into the back post now. Cleared out. Next full time against Rotherham is a 1-1 draw, and that's probably our automatic promotion hopes down the drain, unfortunately. I just don't think we're going to be able to close the gap now, but I don't know why teams in the relegation zone are just... It's like playing against Premier League teams. It's actually ridiculous. But then teams around us are, like, relatively easily. I don't know. I just think the mechanics of the game are quite interesting. It's even when you get promoted to the Premier League, like when you're playing against teams in the relegation zone again, they're more difficult than like Chelsea, Man United, Man City, which it would be nice for EA to address, but I guess they just I don't know how they address it. I think one thing that we are going to do is wrap up the contract for Timothy Thavasu-Mensah. If Foster does decide to retire, then I'll look to get Ulrich, because it'll be a like-for-like replacement, and then we can buy a young goalkeeper. But for the time being, I think I'll leave him there, since goalkeepers aren't like that much of an issue to get. But I think Timothy Thavasu-Mensah, if you can get him for like 25k a week wages, it's a pretty no-brainer. Very good defender. So let's get into the salary now. They did say 25, but I think I'll go 27 just to give him a nice deal. And then the signing on bonus is about 150, and that should hopefully work. Unfortunately not, he's looking for a lot more, obviously at Man United, on big wages. We'll take out the bonus and hopefully go to 35. I don't really want to be paying 35 grand a week wages for a centre-back. I'll go for 33. And there we go, 34.5k a week wages. I just wanted to keep it under 35. Yeah, he's obviously got a good potential. You'll get him easily into the 80s, and he's exactly what we need in terms of a centre-back, because he has got, like, what's that, about 82 pace, which is exactly what we need for this back three if it's going to work, because as you can see at the minute, 60, 61, 66 and 58, it's just not really good enough. So we'll have to wait and see who comes out of the defence, and maybe we go to a different formation. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, let's go into the final game of the episode against Middlesbrough. A good team, obviously very good players in the squad, and they are playing a three at the back as well. I've gone for Jordan Ibe on the right just because Wilson hasn't, I don't know, I think he goes missing in a lot of games. I think I'll also put Marriott on the bench just to give him a few minutes. Hasn't played in a while, and maybe could have done with him in that last game if we had Marriott. Could have probably find that winning goal, but Duncan obviously not quite as good. So yeah, let's go into the game. Just reckon a good bit of form at the minute. 6 goals in 3 games for him. I don't think he scored in the last game. I think it was actually Harry Wilson who scored in the last game, but he just, other than the goal, does very little in the game. I don't know why I keep having to switch the 2 strikers. I completely forget to do it in the default squad screen. So yeah, they've gone for a 5-3-2. Not too sure who that goalkeeper is, neither the right centre-back, but Dale Fry, Grant Hall, Boller and Dyke-Steele at the wing-back positions. Then George Saville, Sam Morsey, Lewis Wing and Fletcher and Akpom up top. It's obviously quite a direct team, and yeah, we do need to, at least we're keeping the unbeaten run going, I guess. We haven't lost a game. We did lose the Birmingham game, but like we haven't lost in a couple of games now. So as long as we can keep an unbeaten run going until the playoffs, then it will give us a good opportunity to get promoted. Chance here for Delap in the box. Can he make it 1-0? Yes, he can. There we go. Goal for Liam Delap to make it 1-0. Good start to the game against Middlesbrough. And yeah, I don't know if Delap and Ida are the right combo, because they are both, I think, over 6 foot tall. I don't know if we need to play somebody slightly more pacey, like towards the 90 mark. Like, for example, Marriott and Delap might work a little bit more effectively. But obviously I want to try and grow both of the strikers for next season. Saville on the edge here, through the legs of one Middlesbrough player. Wings in the box, but Roden intercepts. Ball inside here to Lawrence. There's a good ball out wide for Jordan Knipe. Hopefully he can make it 2-0 to end off the first half. And there you go, top left-hand corner. We do get that cushion that we didn't manage to get against Rotherham. And obviously it just makes things a lot more easier once you get their second goal. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that Jordan Knipe hasn't played more. Same with Byrne and a number of players, but it's just getting them all in the team. It's just super difficult. I think I like playing the 3 at the back because it gives, you know, more attacking players the opportunity that might not get the chance next season. Chance here for Fletcher. Pulled the keeper out and he chipped him from about 25 yards out. Not exactly ideal, but yeah, I was just doing the offside trap. Did it at the wrong time and just gifted him a goal basically to end off the first half. One into the back post here. I just got the free header, but if he's going to be the target man, he needs to be scoring that opportunity basically. Obviously he's still young and can grow, but I'd like somebody that just can head the ball in when I cross it onto the red. There we go, full time against Middlesbrough, good 3 points. To keep up the unbeaten run, of course, it's one of those that I don't think we still, yeah, only 1 shot for them. Defensively really solid, but going forwards weren't great. I think now with 9 games remaining and a gap of 11 points, I just don't think we're going to get Forest at this point. So a little bit of a shame. We're going to have to settle for the playoffs, but it'd be nice to finish top of the playoffs. So obviously we're only 3 points away from Watford, who do have Norwich next. So obviously if Norwich win that game, it doesn't mean we do play Forest in the Premier League if we do get promoted. So it's not exactly ideal, but it'll be interesting to see how they do next season, of course. So if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure you leave a like, rate and comment any signings on pre-contracts, and yeah, see you soon. Bye.